Investigation that Sarah Palin originally welcomed because she said she had nothing to hide, Troopergate is looking more and more like an investigation Republicans led by the McCain campaign are trying to bury. Today, 5 Alaska Republican lawmakers filed a lawsuit to try to derail the investigation into Governor Palin's firing of former Public Safety Commissioner Walter Monaghan. Today's lawsuit calls the Troopergate investigation, quote, unlawful, biased, partial, and partisan. Well, something sure has changed since it was a bipartisan oversight committee that earlier this summer unanimously, like 14 to zip unanimously, approved the investigation of whether Palin fired the commissioner because he wouldn't fire Palin's ex-brother-in-law, Alaska State Trooper Mike Wooten. At first, Palin said she would cooperate with the investigation. She said, quote, hold me accountable. But last night, the McCain campaign quashed that idea, saying, quote, the governor is not going to cooperate with that investigation so long as it remains tainted and run by partisan individuals that have a predetermined conclusion. Partisan individuals, predetermined conclusion? What part of the 14-0 bipartisan vote to investigate, welcomed by Governor Palin, is suddenly partisan and predetermined? Joining us now to explain is Newsweek's investigative correspondent Michael Isikoff, who has been all over this story like white on rice. Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us again.
Hi, Rachel.
This lawsuit filed today. Is the McCain campaign behind these 5 Republican lawmakers suing to stop the investigation?
Well, they say not, but it's very interesting. You quoted before Ed O'Callaghan, who was who merged yesterday for the first time publicly as a spokesman for the McCain campaign in Alaska. He's actually a lot more than that, and we report on this tonight on Newsweek.com. He is a former Justice Department prosecutor, top guy. He was until very recently the chief of Terrorism and National Security Unit at the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York. He left the Justice Department at the end of July and was flown to Alaska as part of a McCain campaign rapid response team to deal with the Troopergate investigation. I spoke to him last night and today, and he did acknowledge he is serving as a consultant advisor to the lawyer hired at state expense to represent Governor Palin on this, and has been helping to devise and direct the legal strategy, essentially to shut down this investigation or any investigation into these allegations. His position, the McCain campaign's position, is they are unwarranted. It's a biased, tainted matter. There's nothing here to investigate.
I know that O'Callaghan was out today making the rounds, arguing that this shouldn't be before the legislature at all. It should be decided by the personnel board, this board of people who Governor Palin herself appointed. It seems to me like this shouldn't even be greeted as a serious proposal. It seems like the kind of thing that doesn't even pass the laugh test. But if nobody is there from the Democratic side or from the legislature side arguing publicly against them while they're arguing publicly for it in the national media, it seems like they're going to get away with arguments like this.
Well, actually, the interesting wrinkle there, and this is sort of a fascinating legal maneuver. 2 weeks ago, Tom Van Flein, the public lawyer for Governor Palin, filed a motion with the personnel board to ask them to investigate this matter. The argument was that's the appropriate forum to investigate any ethical wrongdoing by the governor, not the Legislative Council. You know, they were saying, look, the governor's not afraid of an investigation, but we don't want it being done by the legislature. We want it being done by the personnel board, which critics point out is ultimately answerable to Governor Palin herself. But what was really interesting is less than 2 weeks later, i.e. yesterday, Mr. Van Flein, the governor's lawyer, with the assistance of Ed Callahan from the McCain campaign, filed a new motion with the personnel board saying there is no probable cause for the personnel board to conduct this investigation, and therefore the motion to investigate should be dismissed. They filed a motion to dismiss their own motion to investigate. So I thought that was, if nothing else, a rather interesting legal maneuver.
Michael Isikoff, investigative correspondent with Newsweek magazine. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing more of you and talking to you about this more. Thanks for joining us.
Sure enough.